Hello, and welcome to the Officially Fly podcast. Officially Fly is a lifestyle brand, but not as you know it. My goal with this is to redefine what a lifestyle brand is through discovering with you what it means to be fly in your life. As a mom, once married woman, dog lover, a multi-hyphenate Afro-Latina working in this crazy entertainment business that I love, I'm always searching for one thing: authenticity. So I am here to share with you the remarkable souls and exceptional treasures that help me and inspire me to stay fly. So listen to me, y'all. I am beyond excited to have Blair Underwood and Lennox Sims on Officially Fly today. Blair and Lennox star in the thought-provoking film Origin by the brilliant award-winning director Ava DuVernay. First, I'd like to welcome my dear friend who has always supported me in my career as an acting coach. This has always meant a lot to me as he is an outstanding and revered actor, and referrals go a very long way in this business. He recently gave an amazing performance as Amari Selvin, in my humble opinion, Ava DuVernay's best film to date, Origin. Blair is currently nominated for an NAACP Image Award for Best Supporting Actor in a Film. A true multi-hyphen, Blair is enjoying success in film, television, and theater as an actor, director, and producer. I would also like to welcome a student of mine, one of my very own way kids, and someone who I've seen grow. He is not only a phenomenal actor, but he's also a phenomenal human being. He inspires me daily, and he's all but the ripe age of 9 and is already being nominated for an NAACP Image Award himself in Best Supporting Actor Youth Division for his work as Al Bright in Origin. Please, can I welcome to the stage Lennox Sims and your amazing mama and my dear friend Dorothy and Mr. Underwood.
Hi. Hello,
What's
hello.
up, Josie? Hey,
Welcome.
Lennox, Dorothy, how are you guys?
Hello.
So here's the fun part, okay? The fun part about this is that Blair and Lennox are meeting for the first time right here, right now, today. Blair, meet Lennox. Lennox.
Hello.
Well, young Master Lennox, it is an honor and a pleasure to meet you.
It's an honor and pleasure to meet you too.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Listen. I got to tell you, that happens often in our business, as you know, Josie, and as you know, Lennox and Dorothy. Sometimes you'll be in the same project and never meet that person. So,
Yep.
I loved what you did, Lennox, in the film. Just so heartfelt. That moment by the pool and that whole storyline by the pool. I won't give it away if you haven't seen it yet, but it's a very powerful moment. But just
Oh,
great.
we're going to give it away because if you haven't seen this movie yet, get your behind to the
Good.
theaters, everyone. This is an important film, and everyone needs to see it, including teenagers. I know that Ava is pushing really hard for teens to get out there and see this film, and you guys are amazing in it. So let's just jump right into it. I'm so curious about your thoughts when you first read the script. Were you familiar with the cast system? Was this sort of a new idea for you as well, or were you familiar with Mrs. Wilkinson's writing?
Yeah, I knew something about it because I knew of the book, and Ava had mentioned it about a year and a half prior to that she had bought the rights to the book. This was going to be her new story, and we're at a get together at her house. There are about 7 or 8 of us, and all filmmakers and storytellers and directors and actors. And she was like, "I kind of just want your feedback on how to crack this nut, how to access this story." And what she ended up doing ultimately was, of course, telling the story, because the book itself, which is called Cast, subtitle Origins of Our Discontent, thus the movie title Origin. It's very dense. It's a
Thick, very
nonfiction story. It's very, very thick. But what she ended up doing was telling the story through the author herself, Isabel Wilkerson, played by the amazing, incredible Ingenue Ellis.
I mean, my goodness.
And just by allowing the audience to learn what she is learning and absorbing as Isabel Wilkerson does, it just really helps us take that ride and journey with her. So I only knew of I'd heard of Cast before, and Cast, of course, is that hierarchy that we're often marginalized into, what based on race or culture or wealth or family name.
Absolutely. After reading it, did you know, like, were you already attached to the project, or did you feel like, oh my God, I must have this role? Did you go and tell Ava, hook a brother up with this role? What?
No, Ava always tells me. She says, "What's your schedule? We're doing this."
I love it.
That's usually how it works.
I love it. I love
And
it.
listen, yeah, no, she called and said, "Listen, I have this role. It's really a composite of many different characters. And if you're available, I'd love you to come. You know, she always says, come play with us for a couple of days.
I love that.
You know, so I'm always down. Whenever Ava calls, I pick up the phone and make it happen. I think she's she's a friend, but she's an extraordinary filmmaker and storyteller.
Yes, 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 she is. Yes, she is. For you guys who don't know, I have the honor to call myself Lennox's acting coach. But this particular one, I actually did not work with him. Mom can tell you he got the audition and they worked on it on their own. So when you read it, tell us about it. What was your feeling about the script? Did you feel that this was going to do all that this film has already done?
So I didn't get the whole script. I just got my scene, but I just felt like reading and seeing my character, I felt like really sad, but I didn't know that it was gonna be like this sad, like this sad, like I was gonna be like, you know. But still, I was really sad, and I didn't even know who Albright was really. I really didn't. But
Mhm.
but yeah, so I just read the script and I was like, oh my gosh, why did he have to be treated like this at a pool in 1951? Um, just because he won a game. Like,
Right.
because he won a game, he should be happy. He shouldn't be sad.
Very true. You're so sweet, honey. I love you so much. What can we talk? Can we take a moment to talk about how you prepared for that role, Lennox?
So, so how I prepared is crying. The crying was the hardest part for me a little, but I just think about sad stuff, and also yawning also helps too because it builds up tears in your eyes. And yeah, because like whenever I yawn,
Don't give
like
away
it
all of
looks
your.
like I'm
Don't
crying.
give away.
Yeah.
Don't give away all of your secrets, okay, Lennox?
Okay.
No, I love this. Okay, that's. I'll have to try that one. Yawning. Have you ever tried that, Blair?
I've never heard that actually, but good to
You see?
know.
Yeah. See, now we're both learning something. Lennox, thank you.
And I
Okay,
will
so
intervene. I will intervene.
yes.
Well, Josie, no, she did not particularly work with him on this scene, but I did. I think I did send the audition tape to you,
Mhm.
and you
Oh,
were
yes,
just,
that's right.
it's brilliant.
Right,
It's
that's right.
brilliant. Yes, but it's only brilliant, and it's like that only because of you. I mean, he has worked with
No.
Josie ever since a baby. He's worked with her for so long, and the things that he has instilled in him to know and how to act and how to be in front of the camera, all the credit goes to her. I mean, she's fabulous. She is fabulous with
Oh my
kids,
goodness. Yeah,
and she is
no. I will
simply
not take
amazing.
I will not take
You
all
will
that
take the
credit.
credit because it is for you.
I will
We're
not
giving
take
credit where credit is
I
due.
will not take all that credit. That's his
Receive it,
God-given.
Josie. Receive it.
Receive
Okay.
it. Yes, it's true.
Okay.
I kid you not. He's been with her for so long. One of his first things was when he was working on Chicago Fire, and he was like what, 3 years old?
Yeah,
3 years old, and he worked with Josie on that. It was all but like one or two lines, and he worked with her, and she helped him on that, and he was 3. I was like, a 3-year-old, can you sit still?
He made
So
me
it's
look
a lot
back
of different things that go in.
because I would always tell the parents, like, yeah, I don't take them like under, under 7, like I
Right,
don't
but
take
because you were working with my daughter who was older,
exactly.
and then
Nadia.
we showed interest for him, and then you were like, okay.
But he really comes with the gift. I mean, it just comes natural, and I was just a
Thank you.
facilitator. I'm just a facilitator of the gift, right? But to God be the glory. That's all him. And I mean, I honestly, I cried. Your performance was magical. It was amazing, and you absolutely deserve to be nominated for your role. The
Thank you.
sophistication in your work is just unheard of, and it's just it really brings that movie together, right, Blair? Wouldn't you
Yeah.
say?
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, it's
It's
it's an important scene. Just the story of this young boy who I guess we should say that much that is not allowed to swim in the pool with these white kids, in 1951 after just winning a baseball game, as Lennox said. And it's a very pivotal, poignant moment in the film.
Mhm.
Yeah, it really is. Um, all right, so I'd love to hear, Blair, um, how has this movie changed you as an actor, as a human being? Do you feel like this movie has changed you at all?
Yeah, I think because Ava had the courage to take on this film and to tell this story, it's very bold in its hypothesis
Yeah,
of caste over race. She did it so eloquently and beautifully. Not everybody is ready to accept that message at this point. So it's changed me in that she always inspires me, but this specific in particular film has
mhm,
inspired me to always, as a director or producer or storyteller, as an actor, always strive to do those things that are pushing the envelope a little bit, that
yeah,
are opening people's minds and hearts, and ultimately it's better for the human condition. So I
yeah,
think that way it just kind of pushed me even more and inspired me even more to do those things in my career.
yeah, that's good, that's good. What about you, Lennox? What was your takeaway from this film? Do you feel like it, has
So
changed you or, yeah. And I'd love
so
to hear from you, Dorothy, as well. All right. Go ahead, Lennox.
I feel like you should. So I just felt like, I'm really nice and stuff, but I just felt like I should be even more nice from
Oh,
seeing this movie because,
I
like,
think that's
I mean,
possible.
I didn't experience it, but I just like felt in my mind, why did this happen? Like, why this shouldn't even be happening? This should never happen. Like,
Right.
this should never be happening in all of history. It's not nice. So I was just like, treat people how you want to be treated. Treat people nicely, kind. Yeah.
I think Ava would feel like she's done her job by, by your response to how this movie has changed you. I think that's exactly what she was going for. I have the feeling, Lennox. So what a beautiful answer, sweetheart. Absolutely. What about you, Mom?
Well, I feel well for Lennox, knowing Lennox, and you know Lennox, Josie, but knowing him, and I'm not just saying this because he's my son, but he's a very, very gentle and kind soul, just by nature.
Yes, he
Um,
is.
so he always wants to include everybody in everything that he does. He's just kind and very nice, and that's just his just who he is. So for him to be playing this type of a role, and luckily, thank God, he's in this day and age right
Yeah.
now as we speak, he's never had to experience anything like that. I mean, he knows that these types of things have existed and that they still exist, but he has never had to experience it to his face in real life. And we thank God for that, and hopefully he doesn't. And I'm thankful
Absolutely.
to Ava DuVernay and everybody else that was involved in the production, even Isabella Wilkerson for bringing such something as the caste system to life. Because a lot of people did not know about it and have not known about it, and even just reading people's takeaway or listening to what people have to say about the movie, it all is just, people are putting things into perspective of what other people take for granted, you know.
Right.
So my takeaway of the whole film is it's important. I'm glad that it was made, and it's just one of those things that need to be played repeatedly in schools, in churches, in different communities, so that people can understand what's going on in the world and what has gone on in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. I think that would be a great idea.
Hmm.
And I think that she's working on that. I believe
Hmm.
she's working on some type of initiative or something to bring, more awareness to this, for more younger people to be aware of this. Uh,
Yeah,
it right, Blair?
yeah, the educational
Yeah,
systems, and yeah, definitely. And you alluded to the Sweet 16, SUITE 16,
exactly.
to encourage 16-year-olds, not just 16-year-olds, but you're right, as you said, teenagers, the
Mhm.
young generation to see the film. But yeah, she's definitely on top of that.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant for her to
Yeah.
add the Trayvon Martin story. I just
Oh,
thought,
definitely.
wow. I mean, she's so intentional. Um,
Mhm.
with I honestly I just can't even imagine what she would do next that would top this.
Top
Just
that.
in
Yeah.
terms, of a creative, and our job is to disturb. I can't
Mhm.
recall who was the artist who said that, but our jobs as artists is to disturb.
Mhm.
And she's done just that. And she's caused all of us to sort of take a look. I mean, that was very provocative. The whole, like, when Avangenu, who I can't even, her work is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
In this, I got a chance to work with her indirectly when I worked on um, the Clark sisters story. She played the mother,
Yeah.
and I actually coached Shalea and Kiera Sheard, who played the Clark sisters on the movie. And this
Mhm.
is just on a whole nother level. But every single person in the cast, Niecy Nash's work is incredible.
Mhm.
I mean, just everybody. I
Mhm.
literally won't stop to name because everyone in this movie is phenomenal. And Blair, do you remember that I was just starting my journey on directing and producing, and you told me about Ava years ago before she was Ava, and you were like, I have this friend and she's incredible and I think that you should meet her. Do you remember that?
Of course, of course, I remember that. Yeah,
Yes, and it never happened
it never happened.
just because life kept lifing, but
Uh,
but
as life
you
does, but
as life does. But you've always looked out for me, and have always made it your business to kind of connect me and made sure that I was like on the know, and you let me know like this was a woman that was really up and coming and she was doing incredible things back then. You were talking highly about her back then,
yeah, no,
right? So
she's a phenomenal talent. But also, you and I have talked about this a lot. So much of this industry is about community, who we
yes.
know, and looking out for each other. So it's
Mhm.
one of the reasons I was so excited to jump on this phone and meet young Master Lennox Sims, because he's up and coming. He's doing his thing. So it's all
That's
about community. The new jacks and the elders. So
yeah.
it's my honor, Lennox, to
Oh.
meet you.
So let me ask you a question, Blair. What advice do you have for a young performer like Lenny, who's, basically just starting his career and is doing really, really great? But what advice would you have for him in terms of, not losing himself in the business and all the things that come with this business? What advice would you give him in terms of just staying true to himself, because he's really fly as is, right? So what advice would you give him so he can
You
stay
said,
fly?
you said Lennox, you're already officially fly. That's what she
That's
said.
right. How about that? Hey.
Listen, I've learned never to give advice unless they ask for it. Unless somebody asks for it, but I'm assuming by proxy she's asking. So
I,
you
I, by proxy.
so no, I would say the fact that you're sitting next to your mother is
Mm,
all you need right now. That's the majority of what you need. I happen to be a Christian. I happen to believe in God. I believe that um, our walk is predestined and preordained, and I think with faith and family, like your mother sitting next to you to guide you through these steps at your young age, you're already doing a phenomenal job, and you together are doing a phenomenal job. And I heard you say you have a daughter that's in the industry also. So
amazing. Nadia. She's
the
amazing, Blair.
industry is not something that is foreign to you, which is great. But I would just say, just keep family first, keep faith in God or a higher power. When you start thinking that it's all on you, number one, that can break you down. It can be too stressful because anything and everything done in this world, it's very rarely is it just us, especially in this industry. It's all about, I said community before, but it's a collaborative effort. I mean, look how many people it takes to do this podcast right now.
Yeah.
Very seldom does anything happen all by yourself. So if you keep that in mind, it'll keep you humble. It'll
Mhm.
keep you focused on really where the blessings come from and where the opportunities come from. But you're well on your way, man. You'll be all right.
I
Thank
love
you.
that. I love that, Blair. Blair, you once told me about the story of Sidney Poitier and how you just happened God, because we don't believe in coincidence, right? So
Right.
God
God.
have it to, you know, choreograph and stage that you would end up on the plane with him and sitting beside him, right? Can you
Yeah,
share that story really quickly? I know that you said that that helped to inspire you to, make sure that you're always lifting, the youth up. That's
absolutely. I had left college in the middle of my third year because I couldn't afford to stay. So I moved to Los Angeles, moved to New York initially, and things started happening in that 2.5 years I was out. And then my biggest break happened. I did a show called LA Law, where I played a lawyer, Lennox,
yeah.
long period of time. But it was the number one show, the number one drama on television. The Bill Cosby show is the number one show. We're on the same network 2 hours later, number one drama. So it
Oh,
really,
yeah.
it changed my life. It changed my career. I was literally in New York doing press for my very first episode. I finished this whole press tour. I get on the plane and I'm sitting next to Sidney Poitier. Now, Lennox, I don't know if you know Sidney Poitier is, but he was the first black man to win an Academy Award. He is an iconic figure in Hollywood, not just black Hollywood. He is the man that inspired me to become an actor from afar. I had never met him prior to that moment. So it just turned out my empty seat was right next to him. And they had already said, because I was on this popular show, Carnegie Mellon, my college, said, if you want to graduate, if you want to get your diploma, just write a final thesis on what you've learned in the business. Long story short, that final thesis I wrote was the conversation I had with Sidney Poitier. It was 5 hours, really 3 hours. I gave him the first 2 hours off so he could take a nap. But then I hit him up first the last 3 hours. And we just had the best conversation. And from that moment on, he was very much my mentor in this industry. Almost every major career opportunity I had, he was there. In the theater, he was on the front row. I did a one-man show in a 99-seat house. He was there on the front row, and he's always there for me. And I will forever, eternally be grateful for that.
That's really awesome.
But it also taught me, as you spoke to, Jossie, I would hope my heart would be there anyway, and I feel it is. But also, it just gave me a kind of a North Star to show me how to be there for the next generation, for other people, just to give and give and give and give until you can't give anymore.
Yeah. Amen. Amen to that, Blair. Give until you can't give anymore. I truly believe that's our main assignment on this earth is to serve and to serve
Yeah.
one another. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Lenny, I know you're only 9 years old, but you are wise beyond your years. Do you have any advice for Mr. Underwood? How would you advise him to always stay connected to his authentic self?
I'm all
Yeah.
ears.
So, like I said, treat people how they wanted to be treated, be kind, and like you said, just believe in God and wait until what He has for you, and just wait until what He tells you. What He tells you, do what He tells you, because kindness is always the right path. The wrong path is bad. The wrong path is just, I don't know if there's a word for this. I'm just making this up, but it's badness. That's the wrong path.
And can you tell us, Lennox, what is your dream gig? Do you have a dream gig?
So my dream gig is to be on a kids show, so I can, because I've been like mostly like on adult shows and stuff. But my dream gig is to be on a kids show because I like want to show my friends what I do. I want them to see like how good I am at acting.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Well, you did Abbott Elementary. You got a recurring role
Oh
on
yeah,
Abbott Elementary. That was
yeah.
good.
I was in 2 episodes, and
Mhm.
the first one like was really funny. I had I'm not gonna spoil it, but what I will say is I had this egg named Ralph, and we were doing an egg drop, and then I dropped it, and I was like, oh no, Ralph, my friend.
I remember us working on that one, that's for sure. We're going to bring this to a close, but before we do, I want to ask each of you this question. So, as I grow, I find myself thinking that being fly is an ever evolving thing. I'm going to ask the audience the same question. So, what does being fly mean to you, and how do you go about staying fly these days with so much changing and just so much going on in the world that can affect who we are just emotionally, psychologically, in terms of mental health? So How do you stay being fly? Blair, we'll start with you.
Well, it all started when you were a fly girl and I was a fly boy on the next soundstage.
That's right.
From that moment on, no, no. Part of being fly is remaining fly and remembering who you are, and surrounding yourself. As I was saying to Lennox, surrounding yourself with the people who care about you and you care for, because those are the ones who buoy you. Those are the ones who empower you, and that higher power, as I mentioned. That's how you kind of just find your center core and continue to find your central core, but also keep that foundation with your feet firmly on the ground. In my experience, but I find the two most important things in life are often perspective and balance. How you look at the world, how you look at yourself in this case, how you look at yourself. Are you fly?
Mhm.
Were you fly? Will you be fly? If you are
Mhm.
fly, if we're all born fly, as I believe, as you believe, then how do we maintain that? But it's perspective, how you look at the world, and then balance it. Balance the good with the
Perspective
bad.
and balance. That's great, Blair. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. So awesome. And you most definitely stay fly. Um, and Lennox, what about you, Lennox? Actually, hold on, Lennox. We're gonna ask mom first.
Okay.
And then we're gonna end on you, okay? Because I'm so curious to see what you're gonna say, okay? Or so curious to hear what you're gonna say. So, Dorothy, what's how do you stay fly, mom? Because you are definitely a fly mom. All right. So how do you do that?
Well, I mean, I learned from you, Josie. No, no,
I'm
for
gonna
real
have to
though.
stop inviting my friends to my podcast.
No, but I mean, I do believe, just like Mr. Underwood said, that we were born fly, and for a lot of us, we just have to learn how to unlock our flyness, and
Mm,
sometimes that just comes with experience.
mm,
Sometimes it comes with age, um, and sometimes, unfortunately, some people don't ever get to unlock their flyness for whatever reason. But we were all born fly. We just have to unlock it, and in order to unlock it, we have to listen to our inner thoughts and our inner beings and our inner minds so that we can bring that out. Because what we have inside of us is a gift and we need to share it with the world, no matter what it is. So, being fly is staying true to yourself, listening to your inner beings and your thoughts, and just setting that out.
great, great,
Beautifully said.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so well said. Lennox, what about you?
So I learned from you to always stay dropped in because if you're because if you need to get ready, then you're already ready if
Mm,
you're dropped in.
mm. And what does WAY stand for? Do you remember what WAY stands for, Lennox? Right? Kids Way Acting Academy, WAY. What does WAY stand for?
I don't think he ever learned that.
Yeah, I don't think I ever learned that.
Yeah, you did. It stands for Who Are You?
Ooh,
Mm.
Who are
Oh.
you? So being fly is all about
who you are.
owning
You
who
are.
you are. That's right. Right? Because nobody can ever be you. And we have to always remember to stay true to who we are. And definitely as artists and creative artists, that's what makes us special. That's what we bring to the universe is being who we are and owning it.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
sometimes you can lose it along the way. I know I
Mhm.
have.
No.
I've lost it along the way, and then I gotta go find my flyness. I'm like, where did I leave my flyness? Where my flyness go? Is it under the table? Is it I'm like, I gotta check my MapQuest. Where is it? Did I leave it down there? Like, where did it go? 'Cause I want to keep spreading this love here. So, who's a remarkable soul that comes to mind that you feel is fly in your life? Just a quick who. No, don't overthink it. Just a quick shout out. Who comes to mind, Blair?
My wife, Josie, and my kids.
I know that's right. He's stuck in the kids. I said one person.
I know. They're a group.
They're right. They're one, right? Awesome, Blair. What about you, Lennox? Who
My
comes
family.
I love that. I love that. I already know what you're gonna say, Dorothy, because you birthed this an incredible human being. So anyway, you guys are amazing. I won't hold you any longer. Thank you for being able to be with me today. It's been a beautiful time spent. I knew that it would be. We're gonna hang out afterwards so we can speak for a minute. These amazing human beings are gonna actually stick around and join us for our Wednesday night acting class. The actors are so excited to see you and speak with you. But so thank you so much for being here, Blair. Thank you so much, Lennox. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I love you guys so much. You are definitely most fly, okay? And officially fly.